And I think a lot of people jumped into the space because they saw dollar signs and an opportunity where we were already in the space. We're incredibly passionate, not just about fitness, but helping the fit pros, the creators, the instructors, and the trainers run their businesses, take away the headaches. Everything we did in those early days of May, June, July, because we didn't launch until August of 2020, it was building the back end of the tech, but also the platform's free for trainers and instructors. That's really important to us. If you charge $100 for a membership, you get $100 in your bank account. We offer reimbursed healthcare. It's based on trailing 30 days revenue, but everyone has the opportunity, not just healthcare in terms of the online space, but healthcare in terms of just fitness in general is not that common for trainers and instructors. And it's a lot of things that when we were at Drift, we just said, why do studios operate this way? And we carried that over to Recess.
You were kind of heads down building and figuring out like, hey, if we were to reverse engineer this, like what would it look like? What was the thought process like? Hey, this is not a short-term thing. We need to build a sustainable product. And how did that inform setting out with the team to do that?
Luck was a huge component of it because we had to make some assumptions in those early days. Some of the early assumptions that we made were COVID was going to accelerate a lot of behaviors, but it wasn't going to fundamentally change human behavior overnight. That's a really hard thing to do. But it was going to open up the door of possibilities and accelerate the change for the next 15, 20 years. And we said, COVID's going to end at some point. At that time, we didn't know how long, but it wasn't going to be that all of a sudden everyone goes from having a social life and being outside and commuting to work to never leaving their homes ever again. Like that just wasn't sustainable. So at some point, it was going to be this pendulum swung to the far right of in-home. It was going to swing probably dramatically again as things opened up, but it will ultimately set somewhere in the middle. So how do we build a platform for the future of hybrid? And knowing hybrid is going to shift, but instead of hybrid, because hybrid in a sense is too, it's omni-channel, because there's tons of ways that you can experience health and wellness. And it's not just online, it's not just in person. There's a lot of aspects to it. We don't even know the direction that is going to go because we're putting so many tools in creators' hands and they're going to innovate. And they're going to innovate on their businesses and their content and how they interact with their clients. We're at the doorstep of what I think the future of health and wellness is going to be.